highly worth. Best decoration in entire Trails game? I would agree. Definitely the best so far. So good. Okay, now we do the Armorica thing. I wasn't expecting like a whole cutscene. Excuse us, you put in a request for the special support section? Ah, hello there, SSS. I can't tell you how glad I am that you're here to help with this again. Yes, thank you very much for coming. Can you tell us what happened since yesterday, Chief Tolta? I understand there was a new development in the case? Yes, that's correct. I fear the situation is more dire than we originally thought. I'd like to discuss it in depth with you all right away. Would that be all right? Yep, that's what I'm here for. Right now is fine. Please fill us in on the details. You mentioned that the situation has changed since yesterday? That it has. Yesterday evening, I went to the Ash Tree Inn in another attempt to persuade Derek. I told him that Minith character was far too suspicious and that he had to break ties with him. You didn't beat around the bush then, huh? Not for a second, but in the end, Derek still refused to listen. However, I did learn something new. And so I hurried here to discuss the matter with Mr. Hayworth. Something new? Has Minith taken some form of action? What you've told me caught me off guard, if I may be frank. Minith's grip on the village is far tighter than we had given it credit for. Would you mind elaborating? From what we learned yesterday, several villagers already trust him. Has it gone further than that? Well, you see, Minith has not only secured the private property on Old Armorica Road, but also the deeds to numerous plots and fields in the village itself. He what? As shocking as that is, one question comes to mind. How was he able to pull off something that big? Good question. From what we know, Minith pitched a plan to increase Armorica's Lotus production, as he puts it. By slowly accumulating deeds to the villagers' farmlands, he could expand the Lotus fields and streamline their harvests. Moreover, management of the plots themselves would be contracted to the Quincy Company to reduce the required labor. That does line up with what we heard yesterday. At first blush, it sounds like a pretty good deal for the villagers. No, it doesn't, Noelle. You're not paying attention. He's buying up all of their land and taking their jobs. They may be able to keep their houses, but how long will they be able to afford them if they can't work their job at the farm? Yeah, too good to be true. As long as those deeds are in Minith's hands, he can abuse the land in any way he wants. There'd be no coming back from that. Indeed, the man cannot be trusted by any means. Had he solely focused on that private property of ours, even the worst-case scenario wouldn't be too terrible. But now that he's using plots of land within the village, the results could be catastrophic. You guys might be out of luck when it comes to breaking that contract, though. That's where you come in. If you can expose him, then perhaps the contract can be voided. I know there's nothing criminal happening on the surface here, but even still, can we ask you to look into this? Well, the SSS has never actually been all that beholden to CPD protocol. Our job is to support the citizens when they request it. You've given us enough reason to find Minith suspicious, so we'll gladly help. Thank you, Detective Bannings. All of you have been our village's guardian angels. Then, should we begin the investigation? I'm at a bit of a loss on that myself. Me too. It's not as if we have any smoking guns to look into. True. In that case, why not ask Ian for assistance? Do you mean Mr. Grimwood? Yes, granted, we're only working off our suspicions at the moment, but if you explain the situation to Ian, he may be able to find a trace of something illicit in Minith's actions. I mean, I don't understand how Minith was able to obtain Armorica's private property on Old Armorica Road without Tolta's permission. no one in the village should have been able to give him permission except for Tolta. That sounds like a good idea. Even a shred of evidence against Minith would be a good starting point for the investigation. I should warn you though, Ian's been incredibly busy ever since the mayor advocated for our independence. There's no guarantee he'll have the time to see you. Only one way to find out. Off to the Grimwood Law Office. Maybe we'll catch him, maybe we won't. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Yep, let's go pay him a visit. We'll leave you to it then. I'll ask my business associates if they've heard any rumors about Minith or the Quincy Company. We would appreciate that. Thank you, everyone. You're the only ones I can count on. I'm so powerless in all this. It's just pathetic of me. Don't worry, Chief Tolta. We'll handle it from here. You just sit tight and relax. And maybe pray to the goddess for good luck while you're at it. Very well. I'll be waiting for you. One born every minute started. Where's Sin when we need him? I miss Sin. I was hoping Sin could be my Michael replacement, but Sin's not here either, so now I don't have either of the cute children. This whole incident has Chief Tolta worried sick. I suppose that's only natural. This involves not only his village, but his son as well. Still, too much stress can ruin your health. I'll do what I can to keep him calm. Okay, where is your child? Here he is. What are you doing? Ooh, we have honey. Did you just lick the jar of honey? It's so sweet and yummy. Interesting. I do not think I could sit there and eat plain honey. Okay, Ian. I should just be able to walk this way, right? No. It's down this way. Oh, Mr. Grimwood. We were afraid you might have been out of your office. Ah, yes, I was just in the middle of taking a much-needed break. Well, sorry, I'm about to interrupt your break. But it would seem you're in desperate need of my counsel. Is it really that obvious? I've seen those looks on your faces coming through my door countless times now. Please, take a seat. I might be busy, but I'm happy to lend you an ear. Our apologies, and thank you. Lloyd and the SSS explained what they learned about Minith and his actions throughout the past 24 hours. They also mentioned that Minith had been collecting deeds to plots of land in Armorica village. Huh, I see. This is quite a predicament the village has found itself in. A case such as this would typically be a top priority for me. But as you know, I've been busy this past week drafting up a preliminary constitution for the mayor. I apologize, but I won't have the time to handle this case personally. That's unfortunate, but we understand. We suspected that would be the case. Still, even just a consultation would be helpful. Very well. I'll give you any advice I can while you're here. We appreciate it, Mr. Grimwood. So, do you have any insight on this? At this point, there's no evidence of Minith engaging in any unlawful activity, at least as far as we can tell. Is there something we're missing? I do have one idea. Already? Possibly. An Erebonian contact of mine once provided me with some reference material for a very similar case. Though I can't say the circumstances are an exact match, any lead that could help us with the investigation is a good one. If you think this other case is worth mentioning, we'd be happy to hear about it. Very well, I can hardly refuse you all. From what I recall, several years ago, a man visited the estate of an Erebonian baron. He introduced himself as Rittner, an enterprising businessman working for a famous brewing company. Rittner presented the Baron with an opportunity to become rich beyond his wildest dreams, and quickly at that. He proposed that the Baron's barley fields, which have been passed down the family for generations, be used to establish a brewery. The facilities would be constructed on the barony, and his family would be responsible for managing them. That was the idea, anyway. Hold on a second. From what you're telling us is awfully reminiscent of what's going down in Armorica. The Baron accepted the deal and signed Rittner's contract. Then, under the pretense of constructing the brewery, the fields and a portion of the Baron's land were temporarily transferred to Rittner. Moreover, the Baron converted his assets into capital for the sake of getting the business off the ground. However, Rittner soon disappeared with both the deeds and the capital, never to be seen again. The heck? The Baron and his family panicked over suddenly losing contact with Rittner. At the time, they had no idea of the gravity of what was about to unfold. To their shock and surprise, they learned that Rittner had sold the deeds to a third party. The land was to be repurposed into a villa resort. Today, it stands as part of a suburb instead. In the end, the Baron's family racked up a substantial debt. Before long, they had lost their entire territory. With that, the family was stripped of their rank, and they vanished without a trace. Dang, that is one heck of a story. The man conned them into giving up their property and sold it right under their noses. Who would even do such a thing? Your investigation immediately reminded me of the case. One person lies to earn another's trust before running off with a large fortune. It's a common strategy for committing fraud. Fraud? If this case is the same, then Minith may not be a Quincy Company employee at all. He would simply be a con man, trying to swindle Armorica for all they're worth. Precisely. I can't say for certain that's the case here, but I'm concerned it might be. I agree. There are too many parallels between the story and our case. It'd be best if we shifted our focus to investigating this as a potential act of fraud. That changes the kinds of leads we should be looking into. Exactly. As far as Minith goes, there are two major areas that stand out to me as suspicious. First, that plan of his. We need to find out whether or not he's actually done anything to establish this Armorican honey company. We could probably figure that out by following the Mira trail. You'd have to apply for a bank loan to open a business in Crossbell. If it's all a sham, then we'll find the evidence we need at the IBC. The other point of concern is whether Minith's actually an employee of the Quincy Company. The Quincy Company's headquarters aren't in Crossbell, though, so that'll be a bit tougher to ferret out. I may be able to help with that. We should try stopping by my grandfather's home. The McDowell estate? Why? There should be a brochure about the Quincy Company there. It outlines how the company operates. We may be able to find some useful information. What's something like that doing in your Gramps' pad, Mademoiselle? Well, because I happen to enjoy making sweets, okay? I once took an interest in the Quincy Company, so I ordered one of their brochures. Last I recall, it was on a shelf in my old bedroom. Then again, I doubt a simple brochure would have all the information we need. I wouldn't be so quick to discount the possibility. It's official Quincy Company material. You might be able to find something that conflicts with what Minith said. It never hurts to cover all your bases. Agreed. Let's drop by the McDowell estate too and see how it pans out. Thanks for all the valuable advice, Mr. Grimwood. Because of you, we finally have some leads to chase down. Always happy to be of service. Just to confirm, you said you were using the Hayworth residence as a base of operations, yes? Yeah, we are. Very well then. I'll lend you my help with the case for as long as time permits me. Though unfortunately, I can't make any promises given my other responsibilities. That's not a problem at all. You've already helped us immensely. It's nice having a professional in the neighborhood we can lean on. I'll try to meet up with you at the Hayworths later. Good luck with your investigation until then. Thanks, Mr. Grimwood. Okay, let's get this investigation underway. To start, we'll need to go to the IBC and look into Minith's plan regarding the Armoric and Honey Company. It'll be a good idea to swing by the McDowell estate for that brochure too. Something in there might contradict Minith's words. That gives us a total of 2 leads to follow up on. Roger, we won't rest until we find that evidence. Oh wait, was there anything else I needed to say to you? Oh, he's gone. Oh no, he just moved. He just moved. You can count on my help with this case for as long as time allows. I'll try to make my way. Yeah. You already said. Okay. Do you have anything to say? Nope. All right, we're already right here, so we might as well just go get the brochure. Let's see. Oh, here it is. This is the Quincy Company brochure I mentioned earlier. Dang, they even had this sucker bound. Can't say they didn't put any effort into the thing. They have ample resources to do so, considering the size of the company. Whatever is written inside should be sufficiently credible. Then it's a good thing we stopped by for it. All right, let's take a closer look inside. As the leader in the confectionery manufacturing, the Quincy Company strives tirelessly toward its next innovation. This brochure aims to briefly introduce the methods and creeds that drive our passion. We believe the key aspect of any confectionery is its taste. Otherwise, how could anyone enjoy it? With this belief as a core tenet, the Quincy Company refuses to compromise on the quality of its products. Our factories are fitted with the latest equipment and operated with the utmost attention to hygiene. Here at the Quincy Company, we are particular not just about the quality of our ingredients, but where they are sourced as well. Our product development pipeline, too, is run with the strictest of standards. Prototypes are personally sampled by our executives who, after many meetings, decide whether a product is worthy to go to market. Only then can they reach the production line. This has been a Quincy Company tradition since its founding, such that we may deliver our valuable customers nothing less than the finest confectionaries to enjoy. It is this commitment to excellence that has made the Quincy Company the exceptional confectioner it is today. I'm not sure what we were expecting. This is all just your typical corporate double talk. Did anybody manage to find a contradiction between this and something Minith said? Not in particular. Maybe coming here for this brochure was a waste of time after all. Actually, I did notice something. Oh god. Did you actually notice something, or do I need to have noticed something? Oh, I get it. You just activated the old detective mode and bam, right? Well, don't leave us hanging. What'd you find? If you remember what Minith told us at the hotel yesterday, the answer is obvious. It was only a passing remark, but it still comes into major conflict with what's written in this brochure, enough to prove that he isn't in fact an employee of the Quincy Company to begin with. You got that much out of this one little pamphlet? That's right. You see, if Minith... Sorry to cut you off, but where's the fun in spoiling it all now? What are you talking about? Well, if I'm being honest, it's annoying that you're the only one who's figured it out. So why not give the rest of us a chance and see Save her for when we interrogate Minith. Wazy, this is an investigation, not a game. I agree with Wazy, actually. Your hypothesis might not be accurate after all. As a precaution, we shouldn't let ourselves be swayed by a mere hunch. Not to mention, I don't appreciate you stealing the spotlight with your detective mode, as Randy put it. Why do I get the feeling that second comment was the real reason she doesn't want me to share? Fine, if you two insist, instead, I want you all to consider everything we've learned so far. I'll summarize the main points of the brochure in the detective notebook. All that's left is for us to visit the IBC. Let's see what we can find out there. Lead the way.